A few persons have asked me what lighting setup did I use to achieve in my unboxing videos. Let's get into the videos and explain more. Alright guys, so I recently misplaced my light because I actually used this same light that I used on my YouTube video for my weddings. And I actually left it, I don't know, somewhere. Somebody probably took it, that's fine. So I have the actual lighting here, the stand, the light, and all the attachments. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick unboxing just so that you guys can actually see what is inside each of the packages. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start from the small to the big. All right, so the first thing is you have this cable. So what we're gonna do, just make it simpler, I'm just gonna kind of put these to the side. All right, so the first thing is just the actual cable itself. So this cable is actually the D-tap. So it's D-tap to 12 volt DC. And this is what is going to use to allow you to get power from the battery to your light itself. It's a pretty simple thing, nothing too crazy, and that's it. And what I'm going to do is just put it to the side, and the actual battery that I bought, which I already have before, so I don't need to buy it again, is I have the newer, this is a 99 watt battery, and this battery is actually good for traveling because I will be traveling soon for a wedding that is coming up. And this is perfect for taking onto the plane because of the restrictions that they have. So if you have a battery that is under 100 watts, you'll be fine to take this onto the plane. All right, so let me just put this to the side. So now, in order to get the battery and everything onto the stand, you're gonna need a V-mount clip. So let me just get into this. So now this is actually a V-mount clip from a small rig. That's all that's inside the box. This is one part of the clip. And this is the actual plate. So you have this piece here, and then you have this particular piece here, all right? So let's open this now. So this is the actual tool that's going to help you to kind of get everything together, all right? There's one more screw inside. So let's put these away. So the simplest way to understand this is the actual plate, and then you press this in order to get the battery on to release it, all right? And then now you're gonna have this piece that's going to be attached. So how I have it on mine is this red part is facing me on my left side, and then now I'm gonna have this part here like so, and then pretty much that's literally how I actually set it up. So you just line it up like so. I'll just make sure that I have the holes lined up. And if you look right here, you're gonna see a hole right here. Hold on, I think my thing's a little bit too low. All right, so you have these two screws that are on here, and you have these right here. So you just pretty much just line it up. And once you line it up, you have the Allen key right here. So that's one side, and that is the second side. So now it's firmly onto the actual unit itself. We can actually put these to the side because we don't necessarily need these right now. And that's pretty much it. So if we have the battery now, we can easily just slide it in to the actual unit itself, and you can see what that actually looks like. And you just press the red side and you release it, and that's pretty much it. All right, so we have had the setup put together partially for now. So the next thing now is to get out the light stand. And this is a light stand from Ulanzi. And we'll just open the box. There's nothing else inside the box. I love this light stand because it is carbon fiber and it is extremely light. Nothing else inside the case. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is how it is, and this is how you can have it folded down inside an actual case. Because when I use this mostly like I mentioned in my weddings, but not only that, I can actually use this and put it inside my actual case as I'm going to carry on to the actual plane itself. So that is one of the benefits I really love about this. Not only that, you have it expand out like so, and you have the legs just like this, and then you tighten from here. Once you tighten this, the legs won't go up. But not the other thing I really love about this too is that you can actually detach this piece from this. Let me just do that right now. As you can see, just like that. So now you have literally two separate parts. So in other words, let's say this is a little bit too long, it's protruding out. You can have this separately by itself, and I love it because you kind of just do that, and you just do the top piece. And it's a little bit slippery, guys, sorry. Hold on. Yeah, my hands are really slippery. All right, so that's pretty much it, and you can see how long it pretty much is. So let's just get it back together. And I like the fact that it's very smooth. There's no friction whatsoever, and I really love that. All right, so let's just put this back onto the stand itself. So all we do is just put it back in, and then that's it. So once you screw it back in, you're good to go again. So I'll have a close-up of this so you guys can actually see what it actually looks like. Just like that. Pretty nice. All right, cool. So now we have the stand, we have the cable, the V-mount attachment, we also have the battery. We're good. So the next thing I will need now, more than anything else, is the actual light itself. And this is the Godox ML100Bi. Let's get this open. Like so. Nothing else is inside the box. Definitely love the packaging. Really, really nice. Love how it looks. Let's just open this up. Okay, so let's start from the top here. So we have this protective piece that's going to go over the LED lights. We also have power cable if you choose to use it indoors. I'm not going to be using this because most of the times I'm using this outdoors. So I'm definitely not going to be using that. So we have that. We have a pamphlet just to show you how to go through and use it. I don't need that. We also have the DC power bank here that's going to be used to plug into the light, like I mentioned before, if you're going to be using it indoors. I won't be doing that. And we also have, this is a piece that you can use for the tripod. This is the neck of that's going to go onto your tripod, and then this screws into the light. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then we have the actual light. So this is the ML15. So this is a 15 degrees, so it's a lot wider in terms of the spread for the light. And you have this little red button right here. You just press it and it releases the light. And like I mentioned before, this is the protective that's to protect your LED right here. All right. So I'm just gonna leave this on just for now because you have two of these inside the case. The other one now. So this one now is the ML35. So there's a 35 degrees, so it's a lot tighter of a focus. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Let's put this down. And then now, we have a mini tripod leg. that you can use if you want. I'm not too sure what I'll use this for, but I see also that you can extend the legs out. So you have a little thing here. Let me show it on the other one. You have this little thing here. You just press it, literally just press it in. Oops. So when you press it, there's a little thing that you can press underneath. If you just try to move it by itself, it's not going to work. So this little thing here, you press it down and it releases it right there. So you press it. Once you press it now, you're able to get the legs out. So this is a safety precaution. So if you're traveling and you don't want it to come out automatically, that's what you do. All right. So let's just put these back. And put that there. And then now, I'm not too sure what this is because I've never used it before. But I guess you use it to tighten onto something. We'll see what happens afterwards. All right, so that's everything that is inside the actual case. And the case actually, guys, is really nice. A semi-hard shell on the outside. I love the texture right here. And that's pretty much it. All right, so we now have the lights, and this is what I mentioned before. Sorry about that, guys. This is everything that is inside the box, as you can see with the pamphlet. So that's everything inside the actual case itself. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you guys simply how I have this set up pretty easy. So what you do first is I'll get the light stand. Let's just get this out. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to do this, just to keep it very simple. I'm just going to release the top piece, like so. Okay, so now we have the stand extended. I'm now going to use this, which is the V-mount from Small Rig, and then I'm just going to extend this out. And I put this on here, just like that. So now the V-mount clip is on the stand itself. So I'm gonna put this down. Next thing now is I'll just put the battery on here. So make sure I just have it properly in my hand. Good. So now the V-mount battery is on. I'm not worried about, oh, it needs to be tightened, sorry. Good. Okay, good. So this is on there. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now we have the cable. And in the battery, guys, you have this section here. You have a USB-A, USB-C. I usually just use it to charge with my USB-C right here. Not only that, on this section is where you have the D-tap. And this is now where you're going to have. So if you look at the D-tap itself right here, you're going to see that it has a flush side, which is very flat. And you have the other side that has a very arch on the edges. And you just look and see and make sure that it lines up. Because you don't want to put it in the wrong, because if you do that, you're going to short the light out. And that's pretty much how it goes inside the light itself, all right? So now that we have the battery on, what I'm going to do now is to get the light onto the stand. So the first thing that we need to do, guys, is we're going to use the head of this tripod here and just kind of screw it on. All right, so once you kind of get the screw in, all you do is just kind of tighten, just like that. And voila, you have it in there, as you can see. And then you see how it's loose right here? This little piece is just going to tighten, and that's it right there. So now, we're just going to put the lights onto the stand. We're just going to loosen this so it goes all the way out. And then we'll just put it on. And then we'll tighten this piece here. And that's pretty much it, guys. So now, the next thing that you will need to have, which I already have on this light over here, is I need the V-mount adapter because I'm using the bounce mount softbox. So you place this, I'll show it on the screen over here, what the V-mount adapter looks like. And then you put this here, and then you put the softbox onto the light. And that's pretty much my lighting setup for this. So all we do now is just we're going to plug this in to the side, right here. Hold on, just make sure this is on there properly. So if you look now, you'll see that I've now connected to the 12 volt section right here from the D tap, and just like that. I think we need to tighten this back a little bit, but I can fix that in a little while. So that's pretty much it, guys, when it comes on to the lighting itself. And the lighting is pretty simple, guys. Is the next thing what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna take this off so that we can kind of go over the actual light itself. And let me take off the battery. Hold on one second. So this needs to tighten. I didn't tighten it enough right here. As you can see, it's kind of shaking right there. I'm gonna fix that in a little bit. That's not a big problem. All right, so let's set up the light now. So like I mentioned before, we have this little tripod here. And now we have the different degrees of light. Real quick, guys, I'm so sorry, I totally forgot to show you these. So let me start with this is gonna be the 15, let me start with the 35. So the 35 is the focal length in terms of how tight or how wide it's gonna be. Like I said, you have a 35 and you also have 15. So I'm gonna show you what the 35 looks like. So what I'm gonna do, I'll plug this in, just like that. I'll step out the way for a little bit. And then now, let me just turn the power on. And you guys can see how the focusing is on that. So that is the 35 right there, all right? And now I'm just gonna switch out. I'm not gonna turn the power off. Right now it's on 3%. You're gonna see the spread, right, how much it spreads right now. Now I'm just gonna put on the 15. You can see how that is, all right? So you get, that is the 15, and this is the 35. So you guys can decide which one you'd prefer more to use. I don't necessarily use this because I like a more softer light, and when I'm working with people, I literally don't want to blind them with the bright of a light. And these get really bright, because what it does is it kind of amplifies the power of the existing light here. And this is a 100-watt light, so trust me, it's very bright. Okay, so let's go around the operation of the light. And it's pretty simple, guys, nothing too difficult. All right, so let me turn on the back. On the back, you have two vents right here, and these vents are to exhaust the hot air from the actual light itself. And if you look at the top, you see some vents there. If you look at the bottom, you see some more vents there. So you have a lot of cooling with this light. So the first thing I'm gonna do now, guys, is when I turn this around now, like I mentioned before, you do have the LED here, right there. It has a glass film that is over it, so you don't physically touch the actual LED itself. So that's pretty good. And this little red thing right here is what you use to release anything that you do to attach onto the light itself, just like so. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do now, guys, is I'm gonna turn it back to the side. As you can see, like, this is the release. And if you have this little thing here that is gonna cover the hole, you can actually use the DC 12, the 12 volt, or you can use a USB-C. But when you use a USB-C, guys, you're not gonna get the full 100% of the light. Just keep that in mind. All right, so let's plug back this light in. So once the light is plugged in, you have two buttons. You have the power button on top and you have the mode button on the bottom, all right? So we're gonna press and hold. Now that we press and hold, you can see that this light is actually at 100%. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is just take it all the way down to maybe 1%. All right, so now we have this dial here. With this dial has two functions. The first function is to adjust the power, all right? Then the next one, let me just turn off the power so it's not blinding you guys. The next thing is now you press the side. If you press the side right here, it now goes to where you have the Kelvin. And this Kelvin goes all the way down to 2800 and go all the way up to 6500. All right, so you have your cool and your warm, all right? So now, I like that because if I'm in a room that is a little bit too warm, what I try to tend to do is to use this to balance my temperature on the light itself with the room. That way I can get a neutral color from my exposure with my camera. All right, so the next thing now is, if you look to the bottom section here, you have this mode. When you press the mode, you have the different effects. So if I turn the power on, you will see there's like a pulse. And to press it again, if I press into the side, I can go to the second one, which is lightning. I can go to the third one. You have like a sun with clouds. You have this one like a false bulb. The next one you have like a TV. Next one you have, this is a candle. The next one is like fire. So it kind of, do its thing. The next one is like, I guess a starlight, I don't know, whatever that is. And the next one is like a fireworks kind of thing. And I think the 10th, not too sure what that is. If you guys know what it is, you can let me know. And then the 11th is a SOS. And I think it goes back to 1. So that's pretty much what this light does. That's what I mentioned to you guys. It's pretty simple. And if I should, I'm just go back to turn off the light. So the next thing now is, what is it that I do to try to get the quality of light that I use? So if I show you this white shot now, you'll see that I have my softbox right here. And then it has a grid attached to it. So what that helps to do is focus the light more on me versus spilling all over the place. To the left of that now, I have this little light. I'll do a review on this soon so you guys can actually see. And what this does is just for interesting background light, whatever. And that's pretty much it, guys. And the rest is really what I do on my computer, which is inside DaVinci Resolve. So you're pretty much seeing how my lighting setup is. It's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too complex. I will leave a link in the description below, guys, for you guys to take a look at. And you can use the link to purchase all these that you've seen inside this video. If you guys have enjoyed this video, smash that like button, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. And guys, you can actually check out this video over here that I think you might be interested. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.